Today we are going to do some of the last parts of the writing process. Trace, turn around. So the first part of the writing process is pre-writing. So we did that whenever we were doing our brainstorming sheet. Let's see, I didn't get mine out. What do I do with it? This is what I couldn't find the other day. There it is. So this was our pre-writing when we planned out our story. Kinsler. This is our pre-writing. Then we went to the next stage and we started drafting. And I taught you every part of the story. We did a day on the topic in the beginning. We did a day on describing what we were talking about. We did a day on the reasons, and we did a day on the conclusion. And by the end of it, we have written a review with lots of different parts and lots of paragraphs. We have never written paragraphs before. This is our very first time to write paragraphs. And when you get older and in third grade and stuff, you'll have to have so many sentences in every paragraph, and you'll have to have so many paragraphs in your writing. But I just want you to know what a paragraph is. So we started our paragraphs by indenting. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraphs. My introduction, my describing paragraph, my first reason, my second reason, and then my closing. Those are my 5 paragraphs. You may have had more than 2 reasons, so you may have more paragraphs, and that's okay. But each reason needs to have its own paragraph. Now today, we're going to do the last 3 steps of the writing process, so we're going to start them anyway. The next step is revising, and then the next step of that is editing. We're going to do both of those today, where we revise and edit. Put it down and get one over here, if you need one. Revising and editing. So revising means we reread it and make sure it makes sense. Some of my friends that have been back here at the table with me going through the review, I reread it to them and they're like, that's not what it says, or that's not what I meant to say. Well, if you're rereading it every time you start writing, then you probably should have caught those things, don't you think? So that told me you hadn't read it to yourself, if it doesn't make sense. So you reread it. Even if you've met with me, you need to reread it and say, oh, I meant to say this, or oh, I forgot to say that, or I forgot a word here. Everyone will reread it after you meet with me. You're going to revise it. Editing is when you go through and make sure the spelling looks right. Use your purple folder. Make sure you got all the spelling right. Is there any place where you need to change the spelling or that spelling doesn't look right? Did you get your capitals for every sentence? Your periods for every sentence? That's editing. Revising is changing the words and making sure it makes sense. Editing is making sure you did the spelling, the punctuation, your periods, your question marks, and your spelling, and your capitals. So I'm going to give you a checklist. We've done this with partners before. So the 8 friends that I have met with already, and we've gone through your review, you're going to revise, make sure it all makes sense. You're going to edit it, make sure it has everything. Then you're going to come get one of these rubrics and make sure, and you're going to grade yourself on it. So, does the writing have an introduction? Did you ask a question at the beginning and tell me your opinion? If you got yes, and it tells my opinion, here. Yes, but it does not tell my opinion, uh-oh. Or, nope, I forgot a whole introduction. No one should have forgot their introduction. Okay, does the writing describe the topic? Does it have background information that describes? No, sad face. Yes, but only a little bit of information. Yes, I put lots of details and told them exactly what it is that I'm talking about, just in case they never heard of it. Does a writer give reasons to support? Do you have any reasons? If not, you get a sad face. So you have 1 reason, you get an okay face. If you have 2 or more reasons, you get a smiley face. Do I use transition words? Those are your words on that pink piece of paper that I gave you. Did you use first for your first reason? Or to start with, or my first reason is? Did you use second or next or then for your next reasons? So for each reason, you need to start with a transition. If you didn't, that's a sad face. If you only used it 1 time, that's an face. You should have used it at least 2 times, because if you have 2 reasons, each reason should have a transition word. Does the writing have a conclusion? Did you say your opinion again and tell them how to get the thing that you want them to get or how not to get the thing you don't want them to have? Nope, I forgot it. Yes, but it does not tell the writer's opinion again. Or yes, it gives the author's opinion again. Are the first words in this every sentence or the word I or names or dates or places or the names of the product, the thing that you're telling them to buy, capitalized? If it's a proper noun, if it's a name of something, if it's the word I, or if it's the first word of a sentence, it needs to be capitalized. Did you never capitalize? Did you sometimes, or did you always? Is the punctuation correct? Do you put periods and commas and exclamation points and question marks where they're supposed to be? Not at all. Sometimes. Always. Are your words spelled correctly as best as you can using your purple folder? Not usually. Sometimes. Almost always. So you get to do this rubric for your writing. So the 8 that I've already met with, you're going to get this rubric and you can do that and go through your writing, and then you can work on the last part, which is publishing. The last thing we do is publishing. Please put that away, Corbin. I haven't said to get it out. Publishing is when we rewrite it and we get it ready to stick on the wall or for other people to read. Okay, that's what publishing is. This time we are not drawing pictures. We're going to rewrite it on the same kind of paper, but I want you to pay very close attention to how I do my paragraphs. So here's my story. I've already added things I needed to add. I've already read through it. See, I forgot a word there. Made sure my spelling, made sure I had capitals and periods and everything I needed to do. So now I'm going to rewrite it. This is my publishing part. So I'm going to have this side of the paper, and I'm just going to rewrite it. So I'm going to write my and this time I got to do it really nice and neat. Not a lot of erasing. Not sloppy writing. The best handwriting I can. If you come back to me and hand me your final draft and it's sloppy, what do you think you're going to have to do? Rewrite it. Right. You're going to have to rewrite it. Your best handwriting. If you erase a lot, you will have to rewrite it. Now, when we do paragraphs, we are not doing arrows on our final draft. That's just to remind you on your original draft, or original one you wrote. But when we do a paragraph, I want you to put 2 fingers down like this and start writing. See? And there's a space there, like my arrow was there, right? But it's not there anymore. So, are you an ice cream lover? Do you like dessert? Best handwriting. But still want to eat healthy. Now, some of you will try to squeeze a word in here. There's no squeezing words. If they go too far past this line, I'll tell you to rewrite it. We're not squeezing words in here. If it doesn't fit, erase the little bit you have and go to the next line. If so, then you are going to love peanut butter cup Yasso yogurt bars. Notice I capitalized every word except the barks, are just bars, but these are the name. Peanut butter cup Yasso yogurt. They are tasty and a great dessert. Okay, now I ended there. My next paragraph, do I start here? Everyone, do I start here? No. No, it's a new paragraph. I have an arrow. Do I put an arrow? No. No? What do I put there? What do I put there, Sydney? No, what do I put there, Anne-Marie? 2 fingers. Yes, 2 fingers. And then I start like that. See? I got my paragraphs. That's called indenting. I'm indenting the beginning of my paragraph. The peanut. We use 1 finger for spaces, not for indents. Buttercup Yasso. So I'm not going to finish writing this, but you get the idea. Whenever you get to an arrow, you put 2 fingers down and start it. Just that line. When you get to the next arrow, you put 2 fingers down to start the next line. So it indents for each paragraph. For each paragraph, you have an indent. Okay, so that's what we're going to do now. Now, my friends learning at home, you're just going to listen and watch this video, but you are not going to do this part yet because I have not met with you. So my friends at home, whenever you come back, I'll meet with you and we will get you on doing the last part of this.